I glance down at my phone, the wedding gown spilling around me like a flood of ivory silk. The screen glows with a message that rips my world apart. I can't escort you down the aisle. Marissa's event matters too much to miss. I'll try to make the reception. My father's words blur, tears stinging my eyes until the room tilts. The bridal suite spins, champagne glasses glittering on the vanity, my veil tossed across a chair, bridesmaids frozen mid-preparation. The clock ticks forward, mercilessly pulling me toward the ceremony. No, I whisper, then louder, my voice cracking. No, no, no. With a sharp cry, I fling my phone across the room. It slams into the wall, cracks, then drops to the carpet. Gasps echo in unison, Jessica's mascara wand frozen in midair, Tara's lips parted in shock. Ari, what happened? She asks, taking a cautious step toward me. I can't answer, can't breathe. The walls close in, the air shrinking, my chest tight as every heartbeat pounds like a hammer inside me. The engagement ring weighs heavy on my finger, one promise intact while another lies shattered. The door bursts open, Melanie, our wedding planner, rushing in with her clipboard and practiced efficiency. 3 hours until lineup, ladies. She halts, sensing the heaviness. What's wrong? My father, I choke out. He's not coming. Not coming. Melanie's polished composure falters. But the ceremony, we built everything around him, walking you down. Well, he's not. My voice sounds brittle, almost unrecognizable. My sister's big event apparently outranks my wedding day. The words hang heavy, the truth harsher spoken aloud. The memory rises sharp, standing beside my mother's casket 17 years ago, my 13-year-old hand wrapped in his, as mourners drifted past in waves of black. I'll never miss the big moments, Ari, he had promised, voice thick with grief. You and me, we're a team now. What an empty promise that was. 9 months ago, when Ethan and I picked the date, Dad had looked genuinely thrilled. We sat at his kitchen table, wedding magazines scattered between us, his hand resting warmly over mine. Nothing would make me prouder than walking you down the aisle, he'd said, his eyes crinkling with joy. And I'd believed him. The first warning came 3 months ago when Marissa announced her career celebration, on the same day. It's just bad luck, Dad had mumbled at dinner, pushing peas around his plate. We'll figure something out. The ceremony's at 4, I'd reminded him. Her event starts at 7. You can make both. He frowned, muttering about the 45-minute drive. Dad, I'd reached for his hand. This is my wedding day. He squeezed back gently. Of course, sweetheart. I'll be there. We'll work it out. Weeks later, traffic might be terrible. Then, Marissa really needs family support. Finally, timing might not line up. Each time I reassured him, adjusted what I could, offered car services. Anything to make sure he'd walk me down that aisle. No. Just hours before the vows? He sends a text. A text. We have to keep moving, Melanie urges, softer now. Is there someone else? An uncle? Or would you prefer to walk alone? Alone. The word thunders inside me. My phone buzzes from the floor. Jessica picks it up, silently handing it back. Uncle Martin's name glows. Dad's older brother. The one who never missed a recital or graduation. I answer with shaky fingers. Hello. Ariana. His voice is warm, concerned. Your father just called me. I don't know what to say, sweetheart. A sob breaks loose. He's not coming, Uncle Martin. I know. His voice tight with fury. And I'm so sorry. I close my eyes, tears streaking down my makeup. I don't know what to do. The pause is brief before he clears his throat. Would you let me walk you down the aisle? Something breaks and heals at once inside me. You'd do that. In a heartbeat. His voice wavers. I'll be there in 20 minutes, Ari. Don't you worry. I end the call, lifting my eyes to the circle of worried faces. Something inside me shifts. A new truth. Family isn't always who you're born to, but who shows up when it matters most. My Uncle Martin is coming, I say straighter now. He'll walk me down the aisle. And somehow, despite the wreckage, I know I'll survive. His offer wraps around me like warmth in the cold. I stand taller, hope flickering alive in my chest. The gown whispers as bridesmaids exhale in relief. He'll be here soon, I say steadier now. Jessica steps forward, phone in hand, mascara forgotten. Ari, there's something you need to see. Her hesitation knots my stomach. What is it? She shows me her screen, lit with messages between her and my sister. Marissa sent these by mistake last month. I didn't know if I should show you, but now. I take it, fingers trembling, my ring flashing in the light. The texts are dated 3 weeks back. Dad's still uncertain about the wedding. Keeps saying he'll make it work. Jessica, but he promised Ari, right? Marissa, don't worry. I'll make sure Dad's with me on wedding day. Already planning it. Jessica, that's awful, it's her wedding. Marissa, oops, wrong Jessica. Delete this. Not for bridal party, Jessica. The world tilts sideways. I collapse onto the vanity stool, vision swimming. I should have shown you sooner, Jessica whispers. I just didn't think she'd actually sabotage my wedding. My voice is hollow. I can believe it. The memory strikes. MIT auditorium 4 years ago, scanning the crowd for Dad as I accepted the National Computer Science Scholarship. He swore he'd come. Even texted me that morning. But the event ended and he was nowhere. Later, apologies, excuses about work emergencies. Months later, the truth spilled casually from his assistant. Marissa had called, pretending I'd asked him not to come. The pattern stretches back 17 years after Mom's death. I was 13, shattered. Marissa, 16, quickly stepped in, running the house, managing Dad, slowly cutting him from me. She's been doing this all along, I murmur. And he lets her. Tara drapes her arm over me. Your dad's a fool. And your sister? Worse. A knock interrupts. Melanie peeks in. Mrs. Carter is here. Ethan's mom? She'd like to see you. I nod, wiping away the streaks of mascara. Catherine Carter enters, graceful in her pale blue dress. Her eyes widen at the sight of me, broken and smeared with tears. Oh, Ariana, she rushes forward, taking my hands gently. Martin called me. I'm so sorry. Her kindness nearly unravels me completely. Since Ethan introduced us 2 years ago, Catherine has given me more motherly love than I've felt since my own mother passed. I can't understand why he would do this, I admit, the words snagging in my throat. Catherine sits beside me on the small love seat, her hands still wrapped around mine. When I was 28, my father refused to come to my wedding with Gregory. He didn't accept our interfaith marriage, she says, her voice carrying the echo of an old wound. I held out until the very last moment, praying he'd change his mind. Did he show up? She shakes her head slowly. No, and for years I kept waiting for his approval, rearranging holidays, making excuses. For why he missed our children's birthdays. Her grip on my hands tightens. Ariana, this isn't only about today. It's about whether you'll keep letting them shatter your heart again and again. Her words hit me like a physical weight. How many times had I moved important plans to fit Dad's schedule? How often had I forced a smile when he canceled at the last second for something Marissa thought mattered more? My mind flashes to my first dinner at the Carters' home, how Gregory pulled out my chair, how Catherine remembered my favorite dessert from a passing comment months before. How their family welcomed me with warmth, showing me the meaning of true support. I've been chasing his approval my entire life, I whisper. And what has that given you? Catherine asks softly. Heartache. Disillusionment. I lift my chin, something steady forming inside me. I won't let his absence spoil what should be the happiest day of my life. The clock on the wall reads 7 minutes until the ceremony begins. 7 minutes to decide what story this day will carry, one of loss or of joy despite it. Martin will be here soon, Catherine says, rising. Do you want me to help fix your makeup? Before I can respond, my phone buzzes with a message from Ethan. Whatever you need today, I'm here. Even if it means waiting. I love you. Fresh tears blur my eyes, but these are different. Tears of gratitude for the family I'm about to gain, for the man who sees me as I am and loves me completely. I don't want to wait, I tell Catherine. This day isn't about who's missing. It's about Ethan and me and those who chose to be here. Jessica and Tara share a glance, relief bright in their eyes. Melanie nods firmly, already adjusting her schedule on her tablet. Have you ever had to choose between your happiness and your family's demands? I ask Catherine as she gently pats concealer under my eyes. More than once, she answers, her smile tinged with sorrow and wisdom. The day I stopped chasing my father's love was the day I finally began to live. 10 minutes later, the door opens and Uncle Martin appears, slightly breathless in his hurried tuxedo, his eyes landing on mine with such affection that my chest aches. In that instant I understand family isn't just blood. It's who shows up when everything falls apart. I rise, smoothing my gown, ready to step into my future instead of clinging to the past. An hour later, once the room clears, my makeup artist leans close, carefully retouching my face. My phone vibrates on the vanity. Robert's name flashes across the screen. I hesitate, then press accept. Ariana. His voice crackles through the line. You're making this hard for everyone by refusing to reschedule. Marissa worked tirelessly for her promotion. My chest tightens. Dad, we chose this date 9 months ago. And Marissa's event matters too. Why do you make me choose? The artist pauses, brush frozen in midair. I didn't force you to choose, I whisper, my voice breaking. You did that yourself. I hang up before he can reply, before my strength collapses. The artist silently hands me a tissue. A soft knock breaks the silence. The door opens and Uncle Martin steps inside, a small velvet box in hand. I smile and nod, and he crosses the room in 3 quick strides, wrapping me in a deep hug. Just look at you, he murmurs, stepping back. Absolutely stunning. Thank you for everything. I love you. The words feel small against the tide of gratitude swelling in me. Nothing could have kept me away. I love you too, sweetheart. His blue eyes crease with warmth. I brought something for you. He opens the box, revealing a strand of pearls with a silver clasp. They gleam softly against the velvet. These were my mother's, he explains. She wore them at her wedding in 1952. I've guarded them all these years, waiting for this day. My fingers hover above them. Uncle Martin, I can't possibly. Yes, you can, and you will. His voice is gentle but firm. My mother would have wanted you to have them. Your family, Ariana. Real family. Jessica slips inside the room, offering a smile. Let me put them on you. She clasps the necklace behind my neck just as the door opens again. Gregory, Ethan's father, peeks inside. Martin, I've got the boutonniere you asked for. The 2 men share a knowing glance. Gregory enters, pats Martin's shoulder, then turns to me. Ariana, everything's ready whenever you are. Ethan's more nervous than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. His attempt at humor brings a small smile to my lips. I just need a few minutes with my niece, Martin says. Gregory nods, squeezes my hand, and leaves. My bridesmaid follows until only Martin and I remain. Ariana, he says, guiding me to sit. There's something I need to tell you. He settles beside me, hands folded between his knees. When I graduated college, my father refused to attend. What? Why? He wanted me to take over the family business. Choosing teaching instead felt like betrayal to him. Martin's eyes drift distant. I searched the crowd that day, praying for his face. But he never came. My heart aches for the young man he once was. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Some men only realize too late what really matters, he continues. Years later, my father regretted it, but the time was gone. I touched the pearls at my throat. Did you forgive him? In time, yes, but I never forgot who stood by me that day. My mother, wearing these pearls. His fingers brushed the necklace. She told me she was twice as proud to fill the gap he left. Melanie appears at the doorway. We need to practice the walk before guests start arriving. Martin rises, extending his arm. In the quiet chapel, sunlight streams through stained glass, painting the aisle in rainbows. The photographer readjusts her camera, planning a fresh round of first-look shots with Martin instead of Robert. We'll begin right here, Melanie explains, then move along at this pace. Martin and I step into place. With every rehearsal walk down the aisle, something subtle shifts between us. A closeness forming, a quiet bond deepening. His arm feels steady beneath mine, his stride strong and certain. By the 3rd pass, we pause at the altar. The tears I've held back all day finally break free. What's troubling you, sweetheart? Martin asks. I'm scared, I whisper, barely audible, that when I look back, all I'll see is who wasn't here. Martin clasps my hands gently. Then let's create something worth remembering instead. He slips a folded handkerchief from his pocket. Initials LMP stitched neatly in one corner. Your mother's? I ask, recognizing them instantly. He nods. Linda Marie Parker, she gave it to me before she passed, said someday you might need it. The soft cotton square, marked with her letters, feels like a message carried across time. I press it to my cheek, inhaling a faint trace of lavender. Uncle Martin, I can't put my thanks into words. No need for thanks, Ariana, he murmurs, voice unsteady. Family shows up. That's what matters. Behind us, the chapel doors swing open. Guests begin filtering in, voices hushed as they take their seats. Almost time, Melanie calls out. Martin adjusts his tie with care. Just one question before we go through with this. What is it? Do you think your mother would have approved of Ethan? The question stuns me, but the answer rises instantly. She would have adored him. Then she's here too, Martin replies softly. In those pearls, in this handkerchief, in your heart, the ones who love us never really vanish. I stand taller, feeling the pearls against my collarbone, the handkerchief tucked close to me. I'm ready, I say. And for the first time, I mean it. Martin offers his arm again. Then let's make memories worth keeping. As we wait behind the doors for the music to start, I realize something clear. Family isn't always about blood. It's about who shows up when it counts. Hours later, everything is finalized. The steps, the details, my preparation. I count down the minutes to the ceremony. Through the curtained windows, I glimpse guests settling into white chairs, their bright summer clothes vivid against the garden's deep green. A figure blocks my view and I turn to find Martin. Ready? He asks, straightening his boutonniere with calm hands. The question carries a heavier weight than he knows. Am I ready to walk without my father? Am I ready to welcome this new version of family forming around me like a shield? I reach for the cool pearls resting at my throat. Yes, I am. Martin stands tall in his tailored tuxedo, fabric fitting his shoulders with perfection. When he rushed in earlier, breathless and intent, I never imagined it would shift from panic to something that feels destined. Your mother would be proud, Martin says, voice catching. And Robert, well, he's chosen his path. From outside, the quartet moves into another melody. 5 minutes until we begin. My bridesmaids gather their flowers, lining up just as we practiced. Jessica squeezes my arm gently. You're glowing, she whispers. No one will think about who isn't here. But I know some will. Empty seats carry their own weight. Melanie appears, headset in place, clipboard in hand. Everyone's seated, she reports. Ethan's waiting at the altar. She studies my face closely. You all right? I nod, surprised to find it true. The heartbreak from earlier has shifted, not into peace but into resolve. The doors open and my bridesmaids drift one by one down the aisle. Then it's just Martin and me waiting for our moment. He holds out his arm. Sweetheart, I've never been more honored than I am right now. His eyes glisten with emotion. Not ever in my life. The music swells into the wedding march. Our signal. Together we step forward, leaving the shadows of the estate for the bright sun. The guests rise at once, eyes turning toward us. White rose petals stir softly in the breeze. Every step feels weighty. Every breath a choice. Martin's arm stays strong beneath mine. His stride moves in perfect rhythm with mine. Halfway I catch sight of Ethan. His eyes lock onto me, tears spilling freely. Not of pity. No, something deeper. Something that looks strikingly like gratitude. Beside him, his parents beam with pride. Catherine, who helped me with makeup this morning, nods with encouragement. At the altar, Martin turns to me. The familiar trace of his aftershave, the same from my childhood, wraps around me like memory. With the love of family chosen and true. He says, placing my hand into Ethan's. The celebrant steps forward, her voice carrying over the garden. Welcome, dear friends and family. Today we gather to unite Ariana and Ethan in marriage. She pauses, her eyes warm as they rest on us. I wish to honor the special role Martin has held today. Some ties are by blood. Others by choice. Both hold sacred meaning. A soft murmur of agreement runs through the crowd. From the side, I notice my father's relatives shifting uncomfortably. Let them. This moment is for those who chose to stand with us. The ceremony flows like a dream. Vows spoken. Rings exchanged. A kiss that tastes of promise and beginning. And Martin remains nearby, a pillar of support. Later, at the reception, the DJ's voice rings out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Ethan Carter, joined by their beloved Uncle Martin. We enter to applause, his hand gently steadying me. The hall shimmers with twinkling lights and blooms, a canopy of stars overhead. When the father-daughter dance is announced, dread tightens in me, another reminder of absence. But Martin steps forward, hand extended. Just for a moment, he says, then Ethan takes over. We sway to the gentle notes of What a Wonderful World, his formal stance softening as we move. The day's weight begins to ease. "Thank you," I murmur. "No thanks between family, sweetheart," he answers. Ethan steps in, spinning me with ease. Over his shoulder, I catch sight of a stir near the doorway. My father stands there, suit ill-fitting, scanning the room nervously. "He showed up after all," Ethan whispers, following my gaze. "Too late," I answer, surprised at the calm in my voice. No anger, just clarity. Some chances can't be reclaimed. Robert lingers at the edge, watching as joy unfolds without him. For the first time, I don't feel the urge to fix it, to bridge his distance. Martin approaches him with quiet dignity, while I turn toward the man whose hands hold mine so gently. "Are you all right?" Ethan asks. I think about the question, searching for truth. Maybe I already am, or maybe I will be. The music swells all around us and I decide to dance. Half an hour later, the delicate ring of silverware against glass shimmers through the reception hall. Laughter dims as guests glance toward the center where Ethan stands, champagne flute lifted high, his eyes locking on mine across a sea of glowing smiles. A tap touches my shoulder. "Brianna." My father's voice cuts through the moment. I turn slowly, bracing myself. Robert Parker stands behind me, hair untidy, tie hanging loose as if he hurried to get here. "You came," I say, my tone flat as endless prairie. "Traffic was awful." He gestures vaguely toward the entrance. "I tried calling, but you didn't pick up." "I was walking down the aisle." The words sting like glass. His gaze shifts across the reception, lingering on the glowing centerpieces, the fairy lights strung from wooden beams, the joy radiating from every corner. Everything he missed. "You could have made this simpler, you know. Delay the ceremony an hour." "Easier for who, Dad?" "Your decision." Before he can respond, Cousin Daniel steps to my side. His usual relaxed air has vanished, replaced with something sharper, more resolute. "Sorry to cut in," Daniel says, though he doesn't sound sorry at all. He holds his phone out. "But you both need to see this." The screen shows a group chat with Marissa and her friends. "Heading to Murphy's for drinks. Dad skipped Ari's wedding for this, so don't be late." A series of pictures follows. Marissa and about 15 others at a bar, cocktails raised, laughing wide. Timestamp 4:30 p.m., right in the middle of my ceremony. She'd first said 7, but I guess she moved it earlier. Just to keep my dad from coming. This is her career event? My voice barely carries. Daniel swipes again, showing another screenshot. A text from Marissa to someone named Jen. "Dad has to pick between us. I'll make sure he picks me." The air rushes out of me. Daniel isn't finished. She shifted the time 3 different times. He opens a calendar, displaying invites with changed dates, each one lining up perfectly with the changes we made for the venue last month. My eyes rise to meet my father's. The color drains from his face like water swirling away, leaving him pale and hollow. "Robert." Uncle Martin walks up, champagne in hand. "I didn't realize you made it." My father doesn't answer. His eyes stay locked on Daniel's phone, on the proof of his other daughter's scheme. "I didn't know." He stops. Starts again. "Ariana, if I had known." "You would have what?" The question hangs between us like something tangible. "Shown up? Kept your word? Been there just once in my life when it truly mattered?" Heads turn. Conversations hush nearby. My father straightens. "I owe an apology," he says, voice carrying. Guests shift in unease. "Not here," I answer firmly. "Not now. I have to explain." The word cuts stronger than I expected, slicing through the silence. "You made your choice weeks ago when you began looking for reasons not to come. Now I'm making mine." Something shifts between us. The unseen ties that bound me to his approval, that kept me waiting. Despite years of being let down, break clean. Their absence aches, but it also frees me. "Ariana," his voice falters on my name. "Enjoy the reception, Dad." I turn, walking back to Ethan where his parents wait, their expressions a mix of worry and quiet pride. Catherine, my mother-in-law, squeezes my hand when I rejoin them. "Are you all right?" "Yes. And strangely I am. Truly I am." From the corner of my eye, I see Uncle Martin approach my father, who lingers apart at the edge of the dance floor. Martin leans close, his hand steady on Robert's arm, guiding him away from the heart of the celebration. "She deserves this day without more disruption," I hear Martin murmur as they pass. "Talk tomorrow." My father's shoulders sag as Martin leads him toward the bar. In the far corner, For the first time, Robert Parker looks small to me, no longer the towering man whose approval I chased for 17 years, but only a flawed man now reckoning with the price of his choices. Ethan's hand slips into mine beneath the table. You okay? I nod, feeling the weight of the day, both grief and joy, settling into something steady, even lovely. Better than okay. The DJ calls for another dance. As Ethan guides me to the floor, I glimpse my father at the edge, Martin beside him like a guard. The ache in my father's eyes is real, but so was mine when I saw his message this morning. Some wounds must breathe to heal. Some truths must be spoken before anything new can grow. Tomorrow will bring its own storms. Hard talks, tentative steps toward something fragile. But tonight belongs to the family I chose, the ones who showed up. As Ethan pulls me close, I realize leaving isn't always the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of something better. A year later, autumn sunlight spills through the wide windows of Ethan's parents' home, casting gold across our anniversary gathering. I touch the corsage on my wrist, white roses like the ones I carried, and smooth my palm over the small curve of my belly. To Ariana and Ethan, Catherine toasts, her eyes creasing with warmth. 1 year of marriage and a lifetime ahead. Glasses clink in harmony. I sip my sparkling cider as Ethan's arm draws me closer. His lips graze my ear. Happy anniversary, Mrs. Carter. Gregory produces a photo album, setting it on the table. Thought you'd want to see how much family we've made in a year. The pages flip, showing Thanksgiving, all of us crammed around this same table. Christmas morning, Uncle Martin teaching Ethan to carve the ham. Easter with me fumbling to show my father the cabinet with the good plates. Each picture marking the slow expansion of family. Remember when Robert nearly set the grill ablaze on the 4th of July? Gregory laughs. I nod, recalling how my father arrived with store-bought salad and endless apologies. The monthly gatherings began small, coffee at first. Then meals. Each one rebuilding a bridge I thought lost. Has Marissa called? Catherine asks gently. Not since she left for Florida. My voice stays level. She sent a card when we shared the pregnancy news. That's something, I suppose. Uncle Martin clears his throat from the armchair near the fire. He's aged this year. The lines deeper, though his smile is still strong. I have something for you both. He lifts a package wrapped in tissue. My hands tremble as I unwrap a soft baby blanket, pale cream yarn. Alice knitted it before she passed, Martin says thickly. Said it was for the next child whenever that day came. Now the day's here. I trace the weave, thinking of the woman I never met, yet whose touch rests here. It's beautiful, I whisper. The doorbell rings and Ethan soon returns with my father. Robert stands in the doorway, clutching a worn album. Sorry I'm late, he says, eyes meeting mine. Traffic on the bridge. A tired excuse that once tore at me. Now I only nod. We're looking at pictures. Join us. He sits, opening the album. I found these yesterday. Thought you'd want them. Inside, photos I'd never seen my mother pregnant, her hand resting on her belly just like mine does now. I'm sorry I missed what mattered, he says softly. I can't undo the past, but I want to be here now. For you. For my granddaughter. I don't promise instant forgiveness, but I take his hand. One day at a time. Later, as we gather for a group photo, I feel myself between two worlds, Ethan's steady presence on one side, Uncle Martin's calm support on the other, my father cautiously stepping into our circle. I rest my hand on my belly, feeling a flutter that might be a kick or imagination. Our daughter will grow up knowing true loyalty. I tell Ethan as Catherine sets the camera timer. The shutter clicks, sealing this moment of chosen family, some by blood, others by choice, all bound by promises kept. I've learned family isn't only who raised you. It's who shows up when it matters. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it's who's given another chance to show up. Right.